First one being Rebecca Kress, followed by John Glasgow, followed by Tim Norgard.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello, my name's Rebecca Kress. Thank you for giving me a few minutes of your time. Most of you already know that I started organizing the Russian River cleanup in 1991, and for the last 18 years, volunteers and I have removed 5,843 tires, hundreds of tons of scrap metal, appliances, and toxins, recycling what we could. Except for some consistent problem areas, the river is the cleanest it's ever been. The public bridges continue to be a source of trouble for the landowners and businesses that own or have property rights near them, and the worst is the Talmadge Bridge. People have been illegally camping on or near the bridge for years, and it has made the river unsafe and unclean, creating a health hazard by what they leave behind in the activities they perform when there. I have been given permission to speak to that issue by the following: landowners Mike Hildreth, Tim Norgard, Richard Mattern, and Public Health Officer Marvin Trotter, because they can't be here today. Trying to hurry because I have a lot to say. Tim Norgard and Richard Mattern are fed up with trespassers and the damage and mess they leave behind. Mr. Norgard continually asks the river dwellers to leave, only to have them move somewhere else close by and continue to use shampoo, detergents, break bottles, and leave clothing and personal effects near or in the river. Mike Hildreth feels afraid sometimes even to venture out on his own property for fear of his personal safety. In the pictures I left for you to look at, the larger photos from 2001 occurred mostly on his property. And when volunteers and I went to clean it up, one volunteer had his truck beaten up with a hammer. He gets bags of human feces stuck in his pumps, and he is sickened when having to remove them. When he asked the campers to leave, he said they move back and forth from one side of the bridge to the other. He's had his sprinklers broken and even thought of selling his ranch because of this never-ending problem. He is willing to leave his gates open if the sheriff would come in to patrol his property. Dr. Marvin Trotter wants to express that he feels the condition of the river, meaning all the feces and the other nasty things left behind, is a huge health hazard for anyone living in the area or downstream. With 95% of the river being privately owned, it should be safe and clean at the places where the public can get to the river, which means the public bridges. It's the only place we can get to the river, and graffiti is also a problem. Thanks to landowners, because they are great stewards, and that means Tim Norgard, Mike Hildreth, Richard Mattern, Caltrans, and Granite Construction. They are some of the best stewards of the river. I'd also like to thank Bob Thornsberry for taking our trash all these years, and Deputy Derek Paoli for always being there when we call him. The Rotary came out and cleaned on Friday the rest of the mess that we couldn't finish because it was over 100 degrees. We're taking inmates out next week, and I would like to ask that you help us with this problem. I've been cleaning the river for almost 2 decades, and when you clean up other people's trash time and time again, that's why I left you the message that I was so upset, and I'm sorry. I was pretty angry, and I'm sorry for my tone of voice. This is a very frustrating situation. When I left a couple days ago, we just cleaned it up, and we went back on Saturday. We floated the river. I took a teacher from Frank Zeke down the river for the first time. I was embarrassed. When we got out of the river, there was 3 of the strangest people there. They were scary. They looked dangerous. We got out. I was glad there were several of us there at once. And here come some people bringing some sushi down to the river to have a little picnic, and they didn't know what kind of people were down there. They look dangerous. That's all I can say. So my request today is that you help us with this problem. I don't know what the solution is. The landowners don't have time to go out and patrol this all the time. I know Deputy Paoli is constantly out there, and it's greatly appreciated. But this problem has gotten too big for all of us on a one-by-one basis to deal with, so I'm asking for your help. Thank you. I'll leave the pictures with you for a day or two if you want to look at them.
Thank you, Ms. Kress. They're quite impressive, and they really depict the situation, so we thank you for that.
Thank you. Any questions from anyone?
Yeah, I have a question.
Supervisor.
Is your group, do you partner with the Mendocino Solid Waste Management Authority?
No, actually, I had nonprofit status. We dissolved the nonprofit a few years ago. It got so overwhelming, and I never wanted. I'm not an administrator. I'm a person that just got the people together. So I'm just acting on my own.
You know, we have an agency called the Mendocino Solid Waste Management Authority. Mike Sweeney is the general manager. I would encourage you to contact him and see, because that's what, as a joint powers agreement with the cities and the county, that's what we do. It's involved in cleanups and things like that. So I would encourage you to get a hold of him.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'll take that into consideration, and maybe you guys
get a
could
hold of me or something, because I sit on that board.
Okay.
So, but I think we can help you out with some of the.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
So I'll get in touch with you.
Okay.
One question, Ms. Kress. Has there been an increase at this location due to this type of activity?
You can see it was really bad in 2001. Some of the worst problems are they've cut down at least a third of the willows that are out there. They're burning plastic and batteries in their campfires.
Right.
For the 20 campsites, there's a pile of feces to go with every one.
But what I'm looking at is there's been a relocation of a support service to the south end of town there, and I'm wondering if this increase in population is tied to that service being relocated.
I'll let the landowners speak to that. I can't speak to that.
Okay,
I know that I've
sure.
helped the river dwellers. I've given them my personal money, clothing, and rides across town, and I'm tired of doing it. I'm 2 decades of cleaning other people's trash. Thank you.
Thank you.